Hey guys, what's up? In today's video, I want to talk to you guys about balance. Balance is a very broad term when it comes to fitness and wellness, but today I want to talk to you about a very general aspect of it, which is single leg balance. Can you balance on a single leg, and how stable are you? It is very important that we get good at balancing on a single leg because we do it more often than we think. Whenever we walk, whenever we run, we need single leg balance. If we do not have that single leg balance, you can't balance on one leg, you fall over really quickly when you do it. It means that you are not stable when you are walking. And if you're not stable when you're walking, every time you move, you can be creating chronic problems in the lower half of your body, maybe in the upper half of your body, because you're trying to stabilize in areas that aren't stabilizing correctly. Over time, this will lead to not being able to walk. And I know we all want to be able to walk as we get old. We don't want to be in a wheelchair, we don't want to be in a walker. So, work on single leg balance so that you do not have those problems as you age. So how do we do that? The first thing I want to show is what I look for when in a client when I have them balance. I do a balance test. Things that I look for are problems that I see. So the first thing that I look at is your foot. So when you balance, when I have someone do a balance test, a lot of times I recommend you do it bare feet because we want to work the muscles in your feet, and I also want to see how your feet are reacting. So look at the foot first. If I'm balancing and once I go up onto my leg, my arch collapses in. So the arch collapses in, it means I'm over-pronating. It means my foot dips in towards that midline. That's a bad sign. It means that I'm collapsing in. It means that my hip isn't stable. Over time, that's a flat foot. That means that I'm not getting the proper stability through my hips. As you see, that also correlates to the knee. The knee and the ankle are connected. Anything with the ankle is a knee problem. Anything with the knee is an ankle problem. So if that ankle and the knee are moving around a lot too, again, we're seeing that as a hip problem. I keep going back to that. So you see foot, ankle, knee, they all lead to hip instability. If I'm not being able to stabilize with my hip, those will be all over the place. And so it doesn't really actually matter where the problem, where the breakdown in the chain happens in that line. A lot of times it means I just need to strengthen my hip. How do I do that? So how do I keep myself from collapsing in? How do I reduce the wobble? How do I keep that balance? See where I'm balancing from. We want to be as strong as possible. So I go back again. The reason I had the first video about the hinge is because it's the most important thing and it applies. So if you can do a hinge, you know how to posteriorly load your hamstrings and glutes and get that work back. Again, from the side, getting that hinge and posteriorly loading my glutes and my hamstrings. How does this translate to balance? Now we want to do that hinge on a single leg. This is called a single leg deadlift. And balance on the single leg. Make sure the knee is bent. I drive my hip back. Now my glutes loaded and I'm balanced in my hip. So if you notice here, you still might have all those wobbles if you do that. The more and more you practice it, the better you'll get it. But you want to be able to load that hamstring and glute. Make sure this is the majority of the work that's happening. Once you feel that, you can drive your hip back. You don't have to go far. Just want you to drive back a little bit. Make sure your knee stays bent. Try not to let that knee collapse in. Let your arch collapse in. So make sure you're balanced, driving that out. Hinge back. You're going to hold the single leg position. Get that work, and that glute tension should be there. Once you have that, I want you to go ahead and bring your hands out in front. You don't need to do much with your hands. Just move them side to side. This again is challenging your balance. As you know, when you walk, you move your hands. I want to be able to stabilize my hips as I move my trunk. I don't want to rotate too much. You don't have to do anything crazy. Just move your hands. You'll feel a pretty good burn in your glute. You'll become more balanced. You'll learn how to stabilize through your hip. If you can stabilize through your hip when you balance, you'll be much more balanced. So work on that. Get strong in stabilizing that hips. Know where you want to feel the most stable and balanced position. Work on that. Do it while you brush your teeth. Whatever it may be, waiting in line. Keep practicing it. Get better at balance. so that over time you continue to improve as opposed to start to digress and then over time not be able to walk. So keep working that balance, guys. Thanks for watching, and hopefully I'll have a new video for you guys soon. Thanks. Peace.